All right, welcome back. This time we're going to be working on this 1935 Ford rat rod. We're going to put a set of used gears in it. We are going to patina match the front grille shell. We're going to put some new rims and tires on it. And we're also going to weld up underneath the floor and the frame and all that stuff. So stick around, I'll show you how I do it. It's just after Christmas. I hope everybody had a good Christmas holiday. I'm dying, I'm sick. I feel a lot better today than I have been. I did a little bit of stuff prior to this video. I did some patina matching on the grill. I painted up some of the frame. All right, for the guys that are just watching, just to see how to put a used ring and pinion in, go ahead and fast forward to the 7-minute mark. I'm gonna weld right now. Sorry, my brain is gone right now. So I'm gonna do a bunch of welding underneath here, and then I'm probably gonna work on the rear end, as I did pull the diff covers off over the weekend, and they were a 308 front gear, and the rear is a 342. The guy told me that I got this Jeep frame from that had a 4-cylinder, so I just assumed that it would be a 411. Because I've never seen a 4-cylinder YJ with a 308 gear. I was wrong, or somebody was wrong. Ain't no big deal, I just gotta find a carrier. Might go to the junkyard and see if I can just pull a whole front axle with a 373. That's probably gonna be the plan, because the last time I priced out a ring and pinion, it was $200 for the ring and pinion and about $200 for an install kit. And I have to replace all the U-joints and ball joints and tie rods and whatnot in this front end. So before I go spend money on this one, and I got to change a carrier and pull it all apart, you know, U-bolts are 20 bucks. So go get a set of U-bolts. I'm going to swap in a 373 front axle from who knows what. You know, even if I got to cut and weld some stuff, it'll be cheaper in the long run. So I'm poor. So I hope I don't talk too much during this. It seems like it's gonna be one of those videos where there's a lot more talking than a lot of video stuff, but it's more technical stuff, you know, like doing the rear end. So I'll set you up on time lapse and let you guys watch me weld up on this undercarriage here. All right, well, I got most of these welds done up in here. I'm just getting over being sick. Holidays kicked my butt. I just got my voice back. I am still pouring sweat, just functioning. So took everything I had to keep my arms up to weld up there right now. So I think I'm gonna go take a break because I am wore out. It's only been an hour or two, but I'm tired. All right, over the weekend, or the holiday weekend, Christmas time, while I was sick, I came out in the garage a few times and just trying to do something because I can't sit still. So I patinaed this grill shell, you know, tried to get to match best I could. Surprisingly, in the middle of nowhere in the cornfields that I live in, they didn't have the right tractor paint. So I'm pretty sure this is International Red. And they didn't have any International Red at any of the tractor places. So I got New Holland Red and Ford Red, and I just put a bunch of layers on and just kind of sanded them off to make it look similar to the rest of it. It's pretty close enough for this rat rod. And I also did do some painting on the frame too, and just kind of clean it up and get me out of the house a little bit. I think I'm gonna do the rear end next. All right, so this is the differential that's currently at the 35, and I don't know if you can see that. It says 4112. So you divide those two. It says it right. Dang, man, it's hard to see, even in the camera. But it says 4112, you have to believe me. So 4112 comes out to like a 342. So then we go over here to this other S10 axle, and it says 1141. You see that right there? 1141. So you divide 1141, that gives you a 373. If you divide 12 into 41, it's a 342 gear. So if you were just to glance, you'd be like, oh yeah, 41 and 41, they're both gonna be, you know, the same gear ratio. But this being a 12, there you go, you can kind of see it sideways right there. This being a 12, you know, it'd be easy to screw up. Oh, the other reason why that I'm swapping the gears out instead of the whole rear end is because this is a four-wheel drive rear end, which is a lot wider than this rear end. This is a two-wheel drive truck rear end. So I think from backing plate to backing plate is like 43 or something on this one, and then 52 over here. So I'm like 10 inches wider running this one that I have here, which I need to because the front axle is way wider. I think these are the rims I'm gonna run, and then in the back it's gonna be these for now. So these are the only far offset rims I have that fit an S10. You see I have like the backing plates even with this little this is a tiny tire, and it's still even with the backing plate. All right, I'm gonna go through taking this rear end apart in real time real quick. So I'm gonna tip this up. Imagine it was like, you know, in your car, truck, whatever it may be. On the camera. Of course. Okay. So let's see what we got over here. You still look good? All right. First of all, you're gonna get your socket that fits your cap bolts. For me, they're 5/8. So I take these out right here, and then you're going to take the cap out. I set my cap down exactly the way the cap comes out, so I can screw that up. Then I take an 8mm, good socket, comes right out. I guess, so if you use a cheap socket or a wrench on these, a lot of times you can't get a wrench in there because this cap's in the way for a wrench. So if you use a wrench, a lot of times you'll round this off. And if this thing does not come out, man, it is a disaster. So you really want to try to keep this pin, there's bolt for the pin, coming out easy. Because if it don't, man, I mean, it's pretty miserable. Okay, so then get this pin out, and rotate that around, bolt, pin, then you're gonna come, scoot this back. So you're gonna take this, you're gonna push this over. When you push that over, zoom in here. This, so you can't see. So that pin right there, you're gonna push the axle over. That's the axle, and then this clip right here is gonna fall out. I'll do this one real quick. I'm gonna push it over, clip falls out. And once it's out, pull the axle back, pull that axle back, and then once that's out of there, let me get this set back up here. All right, pull the axles back out to the outside. Go back to your 5/8 socket. I'm gonna take this out. want, like I said, you want to keep this in the same orientation that it came out. You don't want to forget that. Make sure your axles are out all the way. Once your axles are out, sometimes you gotta kind of pry on these to get them to come out. The last one, the one that's on the truck, literally fell out of my hands. Excuse me. So I'm gonna grab my pry bar here. Put my pry bar in here. No, we'll just stay in there. It's a lot harder when it's in the out of the truck, but there we go. That is our ring and pin, or that is our ring gear and carrier. Now the shims stayed on there, so I want to keep this at least on this side for the moment, so I can set it down so it stays with it. A lot of times you go right back on, same way. All right, you want to make sure you get your clips out of here. Then you're going to come around to the front side of your diff. Now, when this is in the car, you know, this thing, it's a little easier to work with. Oh man, she's stuck too. So since she's stuck, I get my hammer, a little tap action on it. Hammer. Lost it already. Sweet. There it is. All right. So you can use a puller. I'm going to try to tap on it first. Make sure you got quite a bit of threads on your nut here. And then you're just going to... There we go. There was very slight tapping. That was not beating on it or anything. And then once it's loose, this comes right off. Here's the nut. Couple more taps to get this thing out of here. It's stuck on the bearing. Let's put some more threads on here. There we go. Now, there's your ring gear or pinion gear. The bearings all felt really good. Bring my oily hands to show you over here. So this is the way, so this is the first cap I took off. There's the bolt and the pin, and there's the left cap. The diff sits in here. You keep your shims on whichever side it came off. Set your pinion down just like it came out. Same thing with the other one. So now what I'll do is I'll take this one, I'm going to set it up just like it came out of this axle. And I'm going to throw it in there. Now I'm going to check it by paint. And if the paint lines look good, I'm going to run it, as long as there ain't a bunch of backlash in it. And if there is, I'll try to take the shims off of this one and put it on this one. We'll see. Alright, I used some anti-seize as my pattern paint. You can kind of see it's in the middle, so you basically want to even patch across the whole face. That's the coast side. And then on the drive side, you kind of see it runs the whole length pretty evenly. So I think it's gonna be good. It feels good. There's some probably 7 thousandths worth of back clay in there. So that's what you wanna have. So she's all set up, ready to go. Clean the diff cover up. Blue Dog, you and your collar shaking, man. You just wanna be on camera, don't you? You wanna be on camera? Huh? Yeah, you're a good boy. You're gonna get some oil on you, yep. Diff's all cleaned up. Diff cover, sanded down. I'm gonna throw some RTV on here. It's gotta be the gray, you know. So just take a little bit, smooth it around, just go on there. Well, you can see this. I'm gonna go around every bolt hole. It ain't got to be a ton on there. It's gonna smash when you push the diff up in. So there, this it's going to mush when you tighten the bolts up on it. So as long as it's relatively even cover, I like to put a little bit of both on both sides just to help get a seal, real thin coat on both sides. Just helps get it nice and clean. Gear oil just loves to just keep leaking out. I've sprayed 2 cans of brake clean in there, but it's fine. Alrighty. So once that's on there, we're gonna take the bolts. I like to put a top one in first. Get one started. And once the one started, the rest of them go in relatively easy. Alright, well, got the rear end all done on it. Got new tires on it. Well, new rims on it. Still got to change the tires out. I hope you guys, or I hope I explained how to do the rear end with a set of used gears so you would understand it. You're definitely better off getting new gears, but if you have generally the same rear end, it'll go. How long these gears will last, I guess it depends on how much you abuse them, but I've done plenty of used gears and not had problems with it. Now, I say that, somebody does it, maybe you won't have as good as an experience as I have, but I think it comes down to how you get it set up. You have to have it really close to how it was in the rear end you took it out of. Don't take it off the carrier. Don't change your bearings out. You know, keep everything as the same as you can, and it should work for you. But I think that's going to do it. That's 20-something minutes probably already. But I can't get anything to upload. I don't know if it's YouTube or it's me because I'm not I don't know how to internet. So I think the front end looks a lot better now. I think it looks a lot more rat roddy with the Steelies on it than it did when it had the Jeep rims. So I would like to thank you guys, and how about if you got any questions on it, you got any comments, whatever, put them down on the thing. and let me know. I'll answer questions if I can. I'll listen to some comments about how horrible I'm doing. That's fine also. But you guys have been great so far. I appreciate it. So like, comment, subscribe, all those good things. And stick around. I'll have another video as soon as I can. Hopefully next week. Oh, and watch the other videos. There's quite a few of them on this 35 already. So do me a favor, check them out. They're decent ones to watch.